Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and unfortunately, I have breaking news. News I never wanted to present, but we all knew it was going to happen eventually. Especially going into this weekend, we knew there were going to be most likely bombings by the U.S. on Iran, and that's exactly what has happened. Donald Trump has officially bombed Iran, bombed a bunch of bases, bombed nuclear facilities. Trump confirmed strikes on Iran's nuclear sites, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan, successfully targeted. U.S. joins Israeli bombing campaign against Tehran. President Trump has confirmed the first American air raids on targets in Iran. He posted on X and Truth Social, he says, and I quote, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There's not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter." I mean, the balls on someone to say, hey, I just bombed this place, one of Russia and China's top allies, one of Pakistan's top allies, one of North Korea's top allies, one of the UAE's top allies, Saudi Arabia's top allies. I just bombed this place. Now is a time for peace. Who is he to talk about peace in this moment? I mean, it's doublethink. It's Orwellian doublethink. There's images of what actually happened at this base. So the IDF, which essentially Israel owns the United States at this point. I mean, no one could really deny that at this point. Through blackmail, through lobbying efforts, the IDF released the imagery of President Trump's bombings in Iran. This comes after earlier today, we saw him going for an emergency meeting at the White House. This comes as they send B-52 bombers to a UK site that is around the area close to at the Diego Garcia base in the Indian Ocean. I responded to President Trump on X at @WorldAltMedia. Go follow us there. I said the peace president that spent the most money in history on the military budget, $1 trillion, just started World War III. And they're calling for regime change. They're saying, oh, this is different than Iraq. This is different than Vietnam. This is different than Afghanistan. This is different than Libya. Could we go on and on and on here? It's not different. In fact, it's far more dangerous. This could be World War III. And it's all manufactured. And we could go back to the U.S. destroying Iran and basically doing a coup in 1953, overthrowing the president. And of course, now they're trying to do the same thing. And how has that worked out? And how has that regime change worked out in Libya and Iraq? Millions have died. Millions have died. And people keep saying this time is different. Not just that, what this is going to do to the economy, on your bank, on your ability to get food. I posted this on X at WorldAltMedia as well on the 18th of June. I wrote, "The internet is forever." Looking at some of his past posts. One of them is from November 29th, 2011. "In order to get elected, Barack Obama will start war with Iran." January 17th, 2012. "Barack Obama will attack Iran in order to get reelected." September 16th, 2013. "I predict that President Obama will at some point attack Iran in order to save face." And then November 10th, 2013. "Remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled." Again, we are on the cusp of a major event here. It's all by design. "Iran has a right to use nuclear energy for peaceful purposes," says Putin. As we see this shift, by the way, with Russia and China. Now we have NATO going after Russia, China and Russia and Pakistan, and potentially the UAE and Saudi Arabia coming to the rescue of Iran. Same with Yemen, same with like Bahrain, same with Lebanon. There's nothing left of Palestine, what they've done there, what Israel's done there. And then you have NATO, UK, Germany, France, Italy. You have the United States, Israel, and Canada and Australia. I mean, this is incredibly dangerous. And these are all coming together. And now they're saying, Mexico is working with Iran, so we might have to go after Mexico. I live in Mexico. Don't do that. And then on top of that, China versus Taiwan, Russia versus Ukraine. I mean, India versus Pakistan. This is all the setup for a manufactured world war to bring us into a ration-based system of technocracy under CBDCs, under digital IDs. There's no coincidence here that they're coming out with all that stuff at the same time. And now they're trying to save face with JD Vance. They say JD Vance says U.S. should not be directly involved in conflict with Iran and suggests Israel is trying to drag the U.S. into war, according to Reuters. Now, this is from apparently a conversation he has. It hasn't been 100% guaranteed. But I like how the Operation Mockingbird media works here, because they put this story out about an hour before Trump bombs Iran and utilize it as like, oh, look, he never supported it. So, in 2028, you can go and elect him as the next president, right? When this obviously snowballs into a mass depopulation event. I wrote, weird psyop going on. What's Palantir and Israel really up to with JD Vance? Giving him an out when he runs for president after Trump? Then I posted this. This guy, Ian Yeager, says he will be our 48th president. All the alternative media accounts did this at the same time after this news came out, and it was complete nonsense. I wrote, see, the second JD Vance says he's against fighting wars for Israel, all the alt accounts endorse him as the next president. The psyops are so incredibly obvious these days. Remember, this is a guy who was calling for the obliteration of Iran not that long ago. And then here's another example, Hodge twins. Vance 2028, if this report is true. And we can never be too disappointed in Luke Rudkowski. He's not very smart, and he has been an opportunist shill for a long time. Team JD Vance, he says, if these reports are true. Hodge twins, if these reports are true. Luke Rudkowski, if these reports are true. They're all saying the same thing. They're like the Mockingbird media. This is a psyop. Meanwhile, we have Tulsi Gabbard, who made a major flip-flop that no one should have been surprised by. She's a military intelligence person who worked in the CFR. Of course, she flip-flopped and now says Iran has these weapons of mass destruction, just like Netanyahu told the U.S. Congress in 2002 about Iraq. Meanwhile, former CIA hacker warns that the U.S. will likely face a massive cyber attack from Iran within the next 30 days. I did a video on this recently that you could go check out on our channel. Make sure to watch our recent videos because we have a lot of information coming out with what the Fed is warning of with recession, with what we're seeing with these calls for tactical nukes against Iran. Important stuff. But yeah, the cyber attack warning of the next 30 days, or Iran will have nuclear weapons in the next 15 days, even though Netanyahu's been saying that since the 90s. Obvious false flags coming up. Meanwhile, Chinese researchers study how to trigger large-scale outages or systemic collapse of Western power grids. This is part of that war, my friends, to bring us into the Great Reset. All part of a coordinated effort to shift the world into a dependency-based reset, as I said, on Exit at World Alt Media. Again, this is the agenda. And if we don't get prepared today, then we will succumb to what comes next. This is the moment. I don't want to be a fearmonger. I want to be a solution giver here. This is an emergency situation. If you haven't prepared yet, you are in a world of hurt when the gauntlet comes down. People act like, well, maybe nothing will happen here. You really think Iran's not going to do anything back? I'm going to close this off by saying go and check out heavensharvest.com for long-term storable foods. Get this today. This is so incredibly important. This is your opportunity to get prepared. And don't say I didn't warn you later on, because I've been saying this stuff for years. This is a shift to get us into a ration-based system where we're on social credits with digital IDs on CBDCs and 15-minute cities with biometrics and total surveillance, which they're developing with Palantir and all these other bases right now, and the new Iron Dome in the US. They're developing this and then forcing you into poison foods that you'll have to eat if you want to eat at all. It's a technocratic Marxist-based system. Heavensharvest.com, code WAM, W-A-M, and save 5% and get free shipping on your order. This is non-GMO storable food. There's organic kits, which good luck finding these qualities anywhere else. Heirloom seeds, water filtration and storage, and books on how to get started. Again, that's code WAM, W-A-M. If you have one bucket, get 3. This is incredibly important. And you can also purchase it with gold or silver, by the way, which is a good deal. Also check out whambeef.com for 10 plus year shelf life. Freeze-dried steak, 12 servings per bag. Again, there's freeze-dried chicken and ground beef as well. This is a no-brainer. They're going after the meat supply. They're going after what they have on the shelves already, and they want you starving so that you depend on them. They want to seize all control of your independence to make you as dependent as possible. Use code WAMBEEF, WAMBEEF, all one word, and you'll get 20% off on your order. This is your opportunity, my friends. I'm not trying to just sell stuff here. I've mentioned this stuff for years and years and years before I made a cent off of it. I made $56 off of it so far this month. So it's not like I'm shilling out and making a bunch of money. I'm losing money by talking about this. But this is a real thing for you guys to understand. There's guaranteed no mRNA jabs, no lab grown meat, all American beef that's 100% natural. Whambeef.com, code WHAMBEEF, all one word. Also, go to firstnationalbullion.com/schedule-consult/ and avoid the CBDC system. That's the next thing they'll go after, your bank account. They already have the UN Pact for the Future where they could do this. 193 countries signed on. In emergency orders, they can seize all of it and they can shut you down based on what you say online. And I expect to be kicked off almost every platform very soon under the guise of national security. This is your ability to control that which you've saved for so long. firstnationalbullion.com/schedule-consult/. It has to be that link. And there you could buy physical gold, silver, platinum, or palladium. You could hold it in your hands, put it in a vault, or put it in an IRA outside of the traditional IRA system, and schedule an appointment for a free consultation with Mark Gonzalez, a good friend of ours, and a complimentary investors package. We just did a video with Mark that we posted earlier today. And there you can let him know in the comments that you found him at World Alternative Media, or WAM, WAM. Get on this today and help support us if you can, because we need the help and we're bankrupted because we dare to predict all this stuff and be right about it time and time again and still be called a crazy person and negative and black pill. We knew this was going to happen. Thank you to those who've donated. We need more help if possible here, because we've lost 90% of revenue since the beginning of the year because we talk about these things. Go get funding.com, Patreon, Subscribestar. We have new videos up where we're doing exclusive content ahead of time on places like Patreon and Subscribestar, which you could check out as well. So we post videos sometimes a day or two before it actually comes out. So go and check that out. $4.99 a month or more gets you exclusive content like that. And same with on X at World Alt Media, $5 a month subscription does the same. We have a PayPal address, ancientwonderstelevision@gmail.com, and we have a Bitcoin address that you could scan on the screen if you please. Of course, it's in the description in text form as well. And of course, we have a Cointree link with a bunch of different cryptocurrencies that you could donate in if you please, including privacy coins. So very important going forward. We have our Teespring store with a bunch of merchandise, which includes, by the way, our 2020 shirt that says "No War with Iran." It was obvious that this was going to happen. Trump bombed Soleimani in Iraq back in 2020, January 2020, and people act like this is a shock. I mean, come on. Presidents don't have power. They're controlled. They're puppets. They're not making the decisions here. You think Trump got into that emergency meeting and just went, okay, we're going to do that. And then boom, they already had it at the ready. No, the military did all that. Military industrial complex did all that. They already had it all under control, essentially. It was scripted a long time ago. This was scripted a long time ago. Expect false flags across the board, my friends. Find us on Telegram, Rockfin, Band.video, BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, and Brighteon at World Alternative Media. We're on Hive, Steemit, and Vigilante.tv and at Josh Sigurdson. And we're on the Bad Guys TikTok and Instagram, World Alternative Media, Twitter, and Getter at World Alt Media, and all the major podcast platforms except for Spotify, where, of course, we are banned. Hit that like button, share on social media, hit the notification bell, and hit subscribe if you have not yet already. And as always, my friends, live freely, live by example, fight back, withdraw, reject this new world order. This is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.